Welcome back to Ship to Shore Cruise News. Today we're diving into the unspoken truths of cruising. Whether you're a seasoned cruiser or planning your first voyage, there are some things you might not know about. So let's get started. My name is Stuart. This is Ship to Shore Cruise News. Let's get into it. So if you've never cruised before, you're going to hear everybody talk about what a great time you're going to have. And to tell you the truth, it is a lot of fun. I love being on a cruise. But if you've never been on a cruise or cruised not too many times, there are a few things that you need to be aware of. There are frustrations that you will encounter. First of all, I can only recommend that before you go on a cruise, bring your patience. And remember, you're on a cruise, you're not in a rush. So let's get to the list of things that are going to frustrate you on a cruise. Embarkation day. You get to the cruise line, you get to the port, and you're going to have to wait in line. Most likely, you're going to be in line. You could be in line for over an hour as everybody's trying to get on board. Depending on the ship you're on, it's going to be anywhere from 2,000 to 6,000 people trying to get on board in a 4 or 5 hour period. So please be aware, depending on what time you arrive, there could be a lot of people ahead of you waiting to get on board. You need to check your luggage, you need to go through security, you need to go through check-in, and then once you actually go across the gangplank, you still need to tap in to get on board that ship. So please be aware, the boarding can take a long time. Once on board, the buffet is a must visit. You're going to want to go up there, you're going to want to get something to eat, maybe some ice cream out of the self-serve machine. You're going to be heading there right away to get something to eat and enjoy. One problem you're going to encounter when you get there is seating. And this is true throughout the entire cruise. Trying to find seating in the buffet during meal times can be challenging. So please be aware that you may be wandering around looking for a seat. It may take you longer to find a seat than it does to take you to get your food. If you're in a group of people, perhaps walk to the far end of the buffet where fewer people are and have somebody sit at a larger table and take turns going and getting your food. Now, while you're going to get your food, another source of frustration at the buffet is that there's going to be lineups at some food stations. My advice is take a tour of the buffet. Usually it's on both sides of the ship. Walk around the entire buffet because you may see a repeat of food stations on both sides of the ship. Quite often I've found that one side's going to be busier than the other. So if there is a certain food station you want to eat from and there's a long lineup, just be aware the one on the other side might not be quite as long. So please be aware of different food stations at the buffet. Now in those lineups, from time to time, you're going to see people trying to butt in at the front of the line. Sometimes, I'm guilty of this, sometimes it's been hard to see the line, but some people just think they're more important than everyone else. So please watch out for people butting in line. And don't be that person who's going to sneeze into their hands and then touch every piece of fruit on the ship. And that's kind of disgusting. Outside of the buffet, out on the Lido deck, and pretty well anywhere else on board the ship too, you're going to have bars. If you've got that drink package, or if it's just a sunny day and you want that pina colada or that frosty beer, you're going to want to go to the bar, and quite often in the afternoons especially, they're going to be quite crowded, and just getting to the bartender sometimes can be challenging. So please use your patience while you're trying to get close to that bartender. In addition to buffets and the bars, you've got the shows. The shows are always a highlight of the cruise for me. I love going to the shows. Try to get there a little earlier so you can get a good seat. I've found from experience that if you've got a seat farther back, you're going to end up sitting with people who may not be paying too much attention to the show. There always are going to be people in the crowd who are going to be socializing more than they are watching the show, and that can be disturbing to you. Please use your patience. Please plan accordingly and try to get there earlier so you can get a better seat. because the people who get there earlier, they're the ones who are going to be really engaged in the show, and they're going to be there for the show, not just to socialize with their friends. Out on the Lido deck and the Sun deck, you're going to have these things called Sunloungers. Yes, you know what they are. Sometimes it can be a challenge to get them. This is an ongoing frustration with all cruisers because some people will go out and reserve a Sun Lounger, and then they'll go and have lunch, or they'll be back in 2-3 hours, who knows. And the problem there is that you're not going to be able to get a Sun Lounger where you want to get that Sun Lounger. Sometimes the only Sun Loungers are in the shade, unfortunately. If you don't need to be by the pool and you're there just to read a book, just to lounge in the sun, just to relax, then perhaps near the pool or the popular areas aren't for you. Take a look farther away from the center of the ship on the sun deck, and you probably will have better luck. If you're an adult, there's always the adult section, and most cruise ships now have areas that you can pay for private access. And in that access, you're going to have a private bar, which isn't going to be busy, and you're going to have better luck at getting a nice, comfortable sun lounger. Another source of frustration on cruise ships can be elevators. Quite often, there's going to be a lot of people on elevators. There's going to be people racing and jumping on the elevator after you've been waiting for 5 minutes or so for one to come. Please use your patience. And remember, there are times of days when those elevators are going to be busier than others. Times such as embarkation day, good luck. Debarkation day, good luck. Are you in port, and what time of day is it? If you're just got into port and you're getting close to the time you can get off for that excursion, those elevators are going to be busy because you're going to have a few thousand people trying to get off the ship as well for their excursions. Also, when everybody comes back on board at the end of the day, those elevators from that debarkation deck, wherever it is, are going to be busy. They're going to be packed. There's going to be a crowd of people waiting to get on board those elevators to get back to their cabin so they can shower, or maybe they're trying to get up to the buffet or Guy's Burgers to try to get something to eat before they go back to their cabin. Either way, perhaps go up a flight of stairs and go use a different bank of elevators, but just be aware that there's going to be times when the elevators are going to be really busy. I just in debarkation day as well, the elevators can be busy, and debarkation day can be a busy day as well, and can be a source of frustrations. First of all, please don't leave until your group has been called, whether it's a letter, a number, or a time. Don't try to go early. You're just going to add to the crowds. When you are called to debark, you're going to end up in a big long lineup that snakes around the ship before you can finally exit and tap before you get off that ship. So you do have to tap. So getting off the ship, there is going to be a process. It is going to take time. After that, you still have to find your luggage. You still have to clear customs. And then you may have to wait outside with everyone else who's waiting for their friends, their family, their Uber, their Lyft, or what have you to come pick them up. So like I said before, cruising is an incredible experience, but it's not without its quirks. By knowing what to expect, you can better enjoy your time at sea. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more cruise insights. And until next time, remember, my name's Stuart. This is Ship to Shore Cruise News, and as always, get your cruise on.